UFC Fight Night. Gane versus Spivak. Another week, another card. And what a sleeper of a card this is. Basharat versus Rodrigues. What a way to start the card. Managers must be getting 2-for-1 specials these days. Farid Basharat is the younger brother of UFC bantamweight Javid. The undefeated prospect has a background in Taekwondo, which gives him excellent distant control as well as the point fighting darting in an out style. He sometimes switches to southpaw, but has limited offensive tools, especially his shin stomp. While he does have excellent ring positioning, he sometimes crosses his legs when retreating side to side near the cage. His opponent Rodrigues has a background in capoeira and built like Costa. He used to fight at flyweight, but has had to move up given his battle against the scale. Rodrigues is no slouch on the feet with good pressure and hard strikes. It's going to be an interesting matchup, but Basharat, much like Volkanovski, is willing to switch levels to break up the flow of the fight. This usually allows him to dominate fights, and I'll be expecting the same. Loosa versus Mckee. Loosa is a well-trained fighter who has good conditioning, power, and durability. He may not excel at anything, but he sure as hell won't be stopped. I'm hoping he gets the win against the slow, soft former Khamzat victim Mckee. Cornolle versus Edwards. Now this is one fight I'd pay not to see. I don't get who Joselyne is paying to be fighting this absolute cans. Cornolle has amassed a 6, one record by fighting 50 regional soccer mums. Why is Joselyne even fighting in the bantamweight division? Inasmuch as her opponent is not UFC quality, she has the size and ability to take the helpless Edwards to the ground. It's going to be a win for Cornolle, but a loss for the fans. Fairn versus Cavalcanti. Fairn, the former women's featherweight, which says enough about her skill level, not to mention her 3-fight losing skid. She faces off against a short-notice Cavalcanti after her previous opponent pulled out. Cavalcanti is the one in our previous picks record, which was a decision. This is a regional-level fight, and I'm picking Cavalcanti since she at least fought bantamweights. Lapilus versus Gafurov. Lapilus is a MMA factory product with good striking and surprising of his team. Good takedown defense. This may be in part to his long limbs, which allow him to easily post up OOR grab the cage. His takedown defense has held up so far, but now he faces a master in sport in combat sambo. Gafurov, while possessing the abilities to win, has managed to lose fights due to poor decision-making. For example, he is too quick to transition, leading to him getting reversed. Or throwing wheel kicks when he is already gassing. Despite this obvious defenses, I foresee him banking at least the first 2 rounds for a decision win. Charriere versus Zecchini. This is one you could probably skip. Charriere is a technical fighter with good distance management, lots of feints and power shots. However, his work rate is Woodley-esque. Manolo isn't as good, has plenty of aggression and terrible ground game. This is an easy matchup for the French fighter. Ghemmouri versus Loughran man. This are some of the most awkward bantamweights in recent memory. Ghemmouri is unathletic with some of the worst stance switches you'll see. He also throws his overhand like a stationary Superman punch. As for Loughran, he stand over his lead foot while still leaning back. Trust me, you want to look this up. Ghemmouri could keep his opponent at range and pick him off with his fast kicks, but I'm going to put more faith in the Irishman's athleticism. Oezdemir versus Guskov. I know Oezdemir has been struggling of late. Of long late? His main problem is he keeps on retreating in straight lines, which has left him hurt or out. Apart from that one glaring issue and his weakened chin, he still has power and skills to pay the bills. He will be facing off against a regional can crusher who's been fighting soccer dads. Expect Volkan to finish this in no time. Saint-Denis versus Moises. Benoit best known for coming in on short notice. Up a weight class, mind you, to be beat from pillar to post by Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos. He is a southpaw fighter who is willing to spam kicks and commits to all the takedowns. Apparently his favorite submission is all submissions, so be assured he won't be KO-da-D from guard chasing an armbar. Moises, on the other hand, is a submission specialist who always loses against anyone whom he can't take down. He seems to hit a wall in his career and has been dropping further down the rankings. I won't be surprised if he gets cut after he loses this one. Fiorot versus Namajunas. What a weird matchup that will probably lead nowhere. Rose is moving up a division, giving up her reach and height advantage, and could end up having to face a wrestling-heavy Blanchfield. The former champ is facing off against a terrible striker who throws the same combos every time. She keeps on throwing a swiping right that never lands, and a side push kick that makes Noon salivate. Rose is by far the better fighter, but with this being women's MMA and her going up a weight, I foresee an ugly win for Fiorot. Gunn versus Spivak. I have no words, really. MMA Factory has shown that they are not willing to train their takedown defense. Furthermore, Gunn would rather stream on Twitch rather than prepare for his undeserved shot against Jones. Spivak, on the other hand, knows he only has one path to the belt. Wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. It goes without saying Spivak will be sending Gunn to the back of the very short line.